What's up to Lion Talk Live? We love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Do Crew. This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host, once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hey, Lions Talk Live, morning show edition, and you know what? You know what day it is? It is the day leading into the NFL free agency. It's going to be starting here in just a couple days. We all know moves are starting to shake across the NFL, not just for the Detroit Lions, not just for the NFC North, but across the entire league. You're starting to see more trades, speculations about who's going where. You're getting some deals already worked out, all the whole shebang-a-bang. So today's episode, we're going to break it all down. How is this going to impact Detroit's upcoming season? What do we think the Lions are going to have to do? Brad Holmes is going to have to pull the trigger on all the above. We'll dive into that. If you guys have questions, by all means, throw them out there today. We'll get into it. It's going to be probably more of a do crew day. I am going to tell you guys right now, I am deadbeat tired. As most of you probably are aware, or some of you may be aware, the team I coach, our playoffs begin today. I probably got up around 2 o'clock this morning after about 4 hours sleep, just trying to double check things in videos, trying to make sure, hey, the stuff coaches always do, you want to make sure you haven't missed anything. And I am very tired. I am going to try to power through this episode, don't get a Mountain Dew, then get to work, and then try to find time to take a nap today. So if I'm not 100% myself, please try to understand and be a little supportive. But hey, that's part of coaching. You got to love it, or you probably shouldn't be doing it, because that 15 cents an hour you get paid at certain levels, it's probably not worth it. All right, with all that said and done out of the way, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Making that march for 13,300 subscribers. We're about 45 subs away, so if you can help out with that, I surely would be thankful. Also, if you have a half second of time, reach on down, hit that like button, hit the thumbs up button, hit the copy button, all the buttons. It all helps the channel out exponentially to grow. So if you can, we try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 thumbs up or likes. If you can assist, that would be most awesome. Last but never least, if you're considering in this upcoming season, either now, then, or whenever, buying or selling real estate, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text. You now see my number on your screen, 269-998-2384. It's probably the only thing on planet Earth I've done longer than coaching, and that is real estate. So if you're looking for somebody to maybe work with you, or for you, I should say, trying to save you some time, save you some money, save you some effort, go ahead and give me a call, shoot me a text. I'll make sure you get taken care of. Make sure you don't have any issues, step on any proverbial landmines, and go from there. All right, with all that done, set out of the way, let's get the show rocking and rolling and going and get into 5 headlines now. All right, 5 different headlines now regarding the Detroit Lions. Let's dive in. Detroit Lions, Terrion, Arnold, quote, "So much meat on that bone he didn't even know," said Mark Ingram from AL or Alabama.com. So what we can say is Mark went ahead and did an interview with Terrion Arnold. He did talk to Aaron Glenn, talked about, kind of reviewed his rookie season and campaign. And I think most of us would agree Arnold had a pretty decent one by NFL standards when it comes to a rookie cornerback. He did have some struggles early in the year. We all get it. He had a lot of PI calls, just a lot of use of hands, stuff he could get away with at the collegiate level. He couldn't get away with up here at the NFL level. But over the course of his season, now that you've had a little bit of time to kind of digest, look back on it, what are your thoughts about him? What are your thoughts about Terrion Arnold? You did have Kelvin Shepard come out and say that Lions have a real strong core young nucleus on the defense. And he does talk about a lot in this particular story, Terrion Arnold, how key he's going to be for the Lions going forward, his abilities, and he is expecting, the new defensive coordinator is expecting Arnold to make a second-year jump as a sophomore, come on in and perhaps do even more in year 2, which I think is probably a fair assessment of the situation. Most cornerbacks tend to trend upwards, struggle the rookie year, do better the sophomore year, et cetera, et cetera. I think Arnold is going to be a key piece for this defense, maybe the next 5 to 10 years. If that all holds water, where do you see him being in the upper echelon of the NFL next year? Do you think he's going to be a top 30 corner, top 20, top 10? Let me know in the comments section. Just say, hey, TA 30, TA 20, TA 10, however you want to put it. But I do agree with the story. He made a big jump. He got better throughout the season. You could even hear some of the veteran wide receivers he went up against throughout the NFL season talk pretty highly of him. As fans, we might have our opinion, and we might have got frustrated with some of the rookie mistakes, but also keep in mind, he was a rookie, and the trend, I always like to say, is your friend. He kind of got up, and away throughout the season. All right, next 5 headlines. Detroit Lions opt not to use 2025 franchise tag on Carlton Davis. Story by Jeremy Risman of SB Nation. And I don't think this is probably a big surprise to anybody watching the channel or the show. Carlton Davis, I think most of us would agree we want to re-sign him. The Lions are going to try to re-sign him. Whether or not that holds water, I don't know. But I don't think many anticipate the Lions would use the franchise tag on him. In fact, league-wise, there was only 2 guys who got franchise tagged. Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins was tagged. He's going to get $26.2 million. Kansas City Chiefs guard Trey Smith tagged $23.4 million. Lions could have slapped the tag on CD3, chose not to, and I do believe they're going to try to work something out. Now, with that being said, we've talked many times on Lions Talk Live about the fact Jacksonville Jaguars, San Francisco 49ers, amongst a gajillion other teams, are probably in play to go ahead and get him and try to get his services on a long-term contract. Lions will have to wait until 12 p.m. on Monday, March 10th, to come up with a new deal for Davis or any other unrestricted free agents. Otherwise, they are going to hit the free agent market, which begins at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday, March 12th. So next week, we get it. We're going to get some news one way or another on a lot of different players across the NFL. I know a lot of fans look at this almost like, just free agency frenzy. You're going to have people glued to their phones, glued to their Twitter or X, what do you want to call it, trying to see what happens league-wide with a number of these free agents. I do suspect once the Lions get through the first, we'll say 48 hours, 72 hours of free agency, you will see some moves starting to come Detroit Lions way. I just don't think Brad Holmes is going to be involved in the opening salvo, if you want to say, or opening day or 2 of free agency. Maybe I'm wrong with that, though. All right, Detroit Lions 2025 Mock Draft 2.0 from Russ Brown. Story by Russ Brown at Lions Wire. Let's go ahead and get into this one. I'll try to power through this. We do this from time to time. You guys know with the 5 headlines. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on each selection just because we don't have a long enough show for all that. All right, so at the first round, 28th overall pick, he's got Donovan Ukwaria, edge from Boston College. Could he be the person of interest? He checks in with his adequate size, great results in the combine testing, and on-field workout, all that. I'll get it. Impressive. 6'2", 250 pounds-ish with 34-inch arms and a 9.25-inch hands. His three-cone drill time was just under 7 seconds at 6.94, so outstanding there. His short shuttle time was 4.19 seconds, also highly impressive. Good fluidity and bend were all on display during his on-the-field workouts. More importantly, his interview went well with several different scouts. So you guys have heard me talk about it. Somebody who's made a living for, about the last 6 or 7 years as a scout for professional basketball. I thought maybe back then when I started in, it was still kind of in its infancy. The amount of information people try to acquire to have detailed analysis about the personality indexes with different prospects. And you are starting to see that emerge more and more with the NFL and other North American leagues. I've talked about it on this show. It was clear, or at least my thoughts were, I should say, about 2 years ago when I began this show, Lions Talk Live. I thought the Lions kind of really were trendsetters because in my opinion, they were specifically targeting certain types of personality to build their roster. And it does appear from everything being reported, I don't know enough about Donovan to say one thing or another, so I'm not going to try to pretend that I know his personality traits, but it does seem like from all that are reporting on this story that they feel like he does fit that metrics for the Lions. So kid might be in play. I don't know enough to say one thing or another, but I would say you probably want to keep him on your board and pay more and more attention to him. He will be somebody I'll be deep diving into more and more leading into the draft. All right, second round, 60th overall, Kevin Winston Jr., safety from Penn State. Similar to last week, don't see a scenario where Ife Melifonwu returns to the Lions. I know he's a good player, but I think we all also agree he's a player who's often injured. So could the Lions be moving on from him? I think so. And whether or not I would draft a safety number 2 overall, or in the second round, probably not. But Winston Jr. just checked in at the combine with a he is 6'1.5" so he's got a little bit of size. He's got a little meat out of the bone at 215 pounds, 33.5-inch arms, 9.5-inch hands, which is pretty good size for a guy that size. But he has to fully recover from a partially torn ACL. Despite only played 3 games in 2024, there's much to be desired with the skill set. He's going to need some development. The fact that he's coming off an injury probably makes him a Brad Holmes ideal pick. It's not where I would go with things by any stretch of the imagination. But for Russell Brown, that's where he's taking you in round 2. Let's go to round 3. 101st overall, Joshua Farmer, interior defensive lineman from Florida State. Hey, he's also recovering from a torn ACL. So again, kind of like a lot of different other people here that have been targeted by the Lions. Is it ideal for me to go for him? No, but it's not my draft, so we'll just put it that way. 6'3", 305-pound defensive lineman. He does have a lot of fluidity, a lot of athleticism, which is why I went for him. 4th round, 133rd overall, Seth McLaughlin, interior offensive lineman from Ohio State. Again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on some of these guys. 6'4", 304 pounds, 31-inch arms. Is he an interest? Man, I think there's just better options out there, me personally, but it's not, again, my mock draft. All right, here's one I do agree with. Kenneth Lambert Smith, wide receiver from Auburn, 198th overall selection in the 6th round. He's got speed. Now, he was clocked at 4.31 and 4.37. So could you get him at a 6'1.5" guy with 190 pounds on him? Man, somebody get that kid a sandwich. If you're almost 6'2" and 190, you are a lean individual. So he's got the speed, he's got the burst, he's got the jump radius, he's got the catch radius. You're talking about trying to get a speed burner, and we've done this a lot this offseason with the Lions, talking about, hey, maybe it's time to get another burner out there for John Morton's offense to go opposite Jameson Williams. This selection, I do like. He is a little bit of a developmental guy, but in the 6th round, I think you're looking for stuff to work with that you can turn into something. 7th round, 230th overall pick, Jackson Hawes, tight end from Georgia Tech. I wouldn't be upset about it, especially at this point in the draft. He is 6'4", almost 6'5". He's 253 pounds, so he is a big tight end. He ran the 40-yard dash in under 5 seconds at 4.81. Not a burner, but again, he is a big blocking tight end. 250, 260-pound tight ends aren't around very much. Now, the one thing I did like about him is his vertical jump at 36 inches. He's got a little bit of a radius there. And then rounding out this particular mock draft is 7th rounder, 246 overall, Hayua Hachi. If I'm killing that one, I'm sure, from North Carolina. Again, not somebody I would target. He's 5'10", just under 200 pounds, 29 in 5'8" arms. It's not a bad person to take. I just think there's better options there. We'll get into that in the next Lions Talk Live mock draft. All right, went on way too long with that particular headline. On to the next one. Connor McGavin's MCL injury almost certainly impacts the Lions' decision to move on. Jimmy Lotto, MD, with Lions Wire. We'll make this a quick headline as well. Connor McGavin, most of you probably remember him from training camp, etc. August 8, 2024, he did get an injury in a preseason game. I want to say it was against the New York Giants, if I'm not mistaken. Leg kind of got caught up, tied up, which affected the MCL and got him out for the year. He would be a unrestricted free agent, restricted rights free agents or exclusive right free agents. How do you want to word it? Well, I don't think the Lions are going to make any kind of play for him or try to, sign him. which means he'll become a absolute free agent. He'll be able to sign with whoever. He was going to be targeted last season to be a primary backup at offensive tackle for the Lions. Obviously, with the injury, that did not happen, and it does appear the Lions are going to move out or on from him. So go from there with that. All right, last of the 5 headlines now. Not a big surprise here, but it is something I figured I'd throw in there. Former Lions running back released by New Orleans Saints. SI.com, John Macaron with this one. Hey, Jamal Williams, when he was here, I think he was a fan favorite. A lot of fans weren't happy to see him go from Detroit. It sounds like the Lions made an offer, just to revisit some history here. Tried to keep him, made him an offer. He thought he could get more money somewhere else, so he kind of turned down the Lions' offer. Lions then went to Dave Montgomery real quick, got him, and then Jamal Williams found out that the market for him wasn't as strong as he perhaps anticipated. To me, that's probably a sign your agent didn't do you justice, didn't judge the free agent desire for him across other teams, and you know what? At the end of the day, it probably cost him a whole lot of money. With that all being said, he is now a free agent. The Saints have moved on from him. Do the Lions look to bring him back? I don't think so myself. I think they've got enough depth in there, and who knows, maybe they draft another one. I know that was one of the mock drafts we had on a couple days ago that suggests the Lions could potentially target somebody in the later rounds. That scenario seems more likely to me, but what say you, Duke Crew? Would you want him to return to Detroit? I guess let me know. Williams, yes. Williams, no in the comment section. All right, with all that done, set out of the way, let's get a rocking and rolling over to the main topic of the day. I am literally running on fumes here, man. I'm struggling to even think right now. I'm so tired, but it is what it is. All right, so, hey, let me know. Jamal Williams, I mean, I really do like the guy. Would you want him to come back to Detroit? And if he came back, who are you letting go? Are you letting Craig Reynolds go? I don't know. That's a good question. I think he's, 28, 29, so he's got probably a little bit of gas left, and I don't think he was overly used in New Orleans. Would he be an upgrade on the depth chart? Would he want to be the third running back? Man, that's a great question. I didn't want to make that the main topic of the day, but it's what it is. All right, main topic of the day. I'm babbling here a little bit. War games have begun. I know a number of you guys reached out to me yesterday and said, hey, the Bears are making a trade for Jonah Jackson. That won't be the only thing to go down. And good for Jonah Jackson for potentially having another opportunity to become a starting guard in the NFL. Yes, the Chicago Bears, all reports are they're going to go heavy after Kevin Zeitler. I think we've been talking about that with the Duke Crew for a couple weeks now. Now, if Jonah Jackson stays healthy and he can get Kevin Zeitler, that Bears offensive line pretty dang good. We also got some news yesterday that Devontae Adams was going to be released, I guess, by the Jets, and a bunch of you guys reached out and said, man, we need to go get him. Do we think that Devontae Adams would want to come to the Detroit Lions? I don't know, man. And would they want to pay him? Because he is going to get paid somewhere. It's my guess the war games have begun across the NFL, and the more the Chicago Bears or the Minnesota Vikings makes move, that might put some pressure on the Lions and or the Green Bay Packers to make some additional moves. I think the Bears are in it to win it this year. Whether or not they can push all the way up to supplant us in the NFC North, that I'm not so sure of. But, anything is possible if you spend enough cash and you draft well, you coach well, things do happen. Now, with all that being said, what seems like the most likely offseason scenarios for you guys? This is where I want you guys to let me know your thoughts. We're always hearing rumors about the Lions are going to trade for this guy, trade for that guy. They're going to trade up in the draft. They're going to trade down in the draft. They're going to trade to the left, to the right, whatever it is. They're going to make moves. In your opinion, now that we're basically a week away from free agency, do you feel there are any free agents we're going to sign? We've heard about Khalil Mack. We've heard about some other free agents. Who do you honestly think Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are going to go out and try to acquire in free agency to bring in? Do you feel at this point, once they get those players you suggest, what do you do in the draft? I do think the Lions are in a position, if they want to add one or two real quality free agents, they can do that. It's not typically what they do. We all get it. Dollar General Brad likes to go get the guys coming off the injury or whatever else. But I think it is an arms race throughout the NFC. I think other teams have identified the Lions are a threat. I think other teams also get last year, if we don't have 47 different guys on IR on the defense, we probably are in the NFC title game again. And it's no disrespect to the Washington Commanders. They've got a great team. I just think, you know what, that defense probably gets 1 or 2 more stops, which means in a 6-point game, you probably have 1 or 2 more drives that go your way offensively. You probably win that game. And what you would have done against Philadelphia, I don't know, man. Flip a coin and wait and see. But the Lions are probably one of the better top 4-5 franchises right now, roster-wise, top to bottom, in the NFC. You see the 49ers are making some moves. You see the Washington Commanders have already made a move, obviously, with the 49ers. You see Chicago's making some moves, and there's a lot of speculation that the Minnesota Vikings could make some moves amongst a couple other teams that are trying to push towards the top. We do have reports out there suggesting the Philadelphia Eagles are going to try to get Myles Garrett, which is going to further push them towards the top of the NFC. Let's all face it. If you want to get to the Super Bowl, you got to win the NFC. You might even have to win your own division to have a good home field advantage for at least a game, maybe 2 in the playoffs. What say you do, crew? What are the moves you think we have to make? This is going to be more of a speculative show than we probably had in a while, but I'd love to hear you guys' wise words of wisdom. And if I fumble some words today, sorry, man, I am literally running on fumes, like I said. So, all right, let me scroll to the top of the screen and get the Do Crew comment section going. Give me un momento, por favor. Greetings, salutations, Coach and Do Crew! ! One pride. Back at you, my friend. Johnny, good morning to each and all of the crew. And I couldn't say it even better, Johnny. Good job with that. Bo, good morning, Do Crew. We have fast moves, 100%! Woo! Back at you. Marcus, good morning. Dan, the Do Crew! ! Coach Dan, thoughts on if the Lions should go after Allen Lazard if released? That might not be a bad idea. I don't remember his metrics offhand, Marcus. I want to say he's like 6'2", and the kid's got some wheels with a little bit of a radius. Put him on the outside opposite Jameson Williams, led St. Brown, and Sam I. M. Laporta cook underneath. Man, that sounds like good stuff to me. Let's see, Silver Surfer, good morning, Coach and everyone. Same to you. Hopefully you're having a good day surfing wherever you may be, Silver. Big Eddie, greetings, salutations, Do Crew, and Coach Dan. First off, good luck this evening, Coach. Thank you for that. Second, I think the Bears are going to make some big additions this spring. Lastly, I hope we crush them every time. Yeah, me too, man. I think they are going to try to be proactive, the Chicago Bears, and there will be other teams for sure that will be. I just hope we beat them down every time we play them, but I'm a selfish Lions fan. I want us to win every game. Henry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan of the Do Crew! ! What a team. What a podcast. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! Go Lions. And good to see you this morning, Moore. Clark, what up? Oh, question mark. Big Eddie, don't worry about Chicago. Them getting JJ is nothing. John Jackson is nothing. Hex, we let him walk, and the Rams benched him for his first season. Yeah, they did, man. I get Chicago needs offensive line. We all get that. I mean, that's not a shocker or surprise. They're rolling the dice a little bit, but a 5th rounder, that's not bad for a former Pro Bowler. If he can stay healthy, maybe he can get right. I was kind of almost hoping that maybe he'd want to come back here if we couldn't re-sign Zeitler, but at the same time, Lions let him go for a couple different reasons. Time to move on. Mark, a part of me wishes all this guessing and trying to figure out who is where would just be over. Then we can watch what the coaches do and eventually games. Yeah. Games will come in time. And I get what you're saying, Mark, but let's face it, off season, unfortunately, right, wrong, or indifferent, that's what we do most of the off season, which is about 6 months long. It is going to be a lot of speculation stuff. All right, Coach Rock, what do you got? Good morning, all, and good luck, Coach, in your game. Wish I was closer so I could go watch. You can watch online. I know that. So, some of the trials and tribulations of coaching. You've been there and done that. It's not always easy. You do it because it's a love. Sometimes you gotta get on kids, especially at younger levels like high school and stuff. You got to get on them about stuff. They don't always understand it. You have to try to help them through some stuff. So I just hope they appreciate the opportunity they have this week. I think they've got a good opportunity, but hey, the other teams played. They want to win too. So, as you know, man, you got to go out there and perform. You got to go out there and take care of things. Hey, March Madness, it is what it is. And I think good luck to all the teams out there. Trey, what's good, everybody? Question mark. Sounds like Kevin Zeitler might also swing over to the Bears. Hope that don't go down. But if it do, then Brad just needs to address that O-line quick. Yeah, if Zeitler doesn't re-sign with Detroit, I think you're going to see Detroit go out and try to get somebody else in free agency, maybe even address it sooner in the draft than we would have guessed. Brent, good morning, everyone. Same to you. Miles Marger, percentage coach in chat with Brett DeWitt. Okay, I'll go with that. Dory, good morning, all. The one thing I loved about Holmes is his free agent signings won't affect who he drafts. No, I think you're spot on with that, Dory. I think he's going to get whatever he feels helps the team. And if it's in free agency, if it fills in a hole or two here or there, then, that's what he's about. He's going to just try to do all that. The other part of that, to your point, is he's still going to draft thinking what's good for now and the future. So I think you're spot on. Jason, good morning, Duke Crew. I'm content with a healthy team from last year. Any additions are icing on the cake. Glass is half full. Levi Stadium or bust. I like the way you're thinking. And good morning, Jim. Please say Benton Harbor coach and players were guilty of throwing items at the ref after losing. I did see something about that. I haven't checked in on it in a couple days, but the one thing for those who don't know, it's not like it was 10 or so years ago where the only way you got film on a game or event is if you send an assistant coach there. Nowadays, there are multiple streaming services or cameras in, just use basketball as an example in the gyms for volleyball or competitive cheer or whatever sports are in the gyms. So those games are fully recorded, and usually they go, 30 minutes after the conclusion of the game. So when all that stuff went down at that playoff game, you know what? You've got 2 or 3 different cameras that record it all. It's unfortunate it happened, but it is what it is. All right, Coach Rock, for football this time of year is both exciting and frustrating. If we could somehow get Garrett, that would make everything better. Just a pipe dream, probably. Could be. I mean, with yesterday's information, I know we covered it then. I thought if that trade scenario is more plausible, then I could see the likelihood of him coming to Detroit a little bit more, where if it was 2 or 3 first-round picks, I just don't see that happening. I've been wrong before, though. Right, good morning, Miles Meyer. Jose, good morning, Duke Crew, and back at you. Jim, just win tonight. Hey, that's the plan for sure, 100%. Miles Meyer, good morning. Joe, Grit, oh yeah, I'm back with that. Johnny L, good morning. Tori, Jess, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. Let's see what meal Brad cooks up for this team. 100% indeed. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Good luck to, thanks for this. Good luck to the greatest coach I've ever played for. Pushed the hex out of me, made me cry several times. I hated him in the moment, but loved it at the same time. Go get it done. Thank you for that very, very much for that. I know you and I didn't always see eye to eye, and no, that's not a joke about my height and your height, but hey, sometimes anybody who's coached, I can tell you, it's not easy. It is something you do because you honestly love the kids and you love the sport or whatever. One thing I would summarize coaching is, maybe 80% of the time, you're trying to get people to do something they innately don't want to do. And sometimes, it gets easier, I think, to a certain degree when you get to the professional level, because people understand if you're not performing, you're probably out of here and somebody else is getting that paycheck. At the, I guess, you could even say that with the college level nowadays because of the NIL. But the high school level, especially when you're talking about younger minds, sometimes you've got to find ways to push them and get them to be cognizant of the small details. And all right, moving back to the chat. Central Scrutinizer, greetings, salutations, Coach and Duke Crew, back at you. And by the way, Stephanie, thank you very much for that. Susan, good morning, all. Double that, Coach Dan, and thank you. And come on, Brad, bring us some weapons. Thank you for that, Susan. And yeah, it was always fun coaching you as well. Moonscar, what up, Doe? What up, Doe? Do Gucci Crew 2. What time is it? It's Gucci time. I'll go with that. It is Gucci time in the house. All right, Lions Roar 74. How about implementing a Brad Holmes for the draft? His is next level. I'll see if I can get that into the show. I know a bunch of you guys have mentioned that for a while. Johnny, best of luck to you, Coach, and I hope you win big. Hey, if we win by 1 or 1,000, it's a win. You survive in advance, but anybody who's been around, March Madness understands anything can happen in these kind of situations. It's never a sure thing because the other team wants to win too, right? Brent, good luck tonight, Coach. Thank you for that. France, good day all. So I guess my question is, how many ads will we honestly make prior to the draft? I don't know. I'm going to say we'll probably sign 3 people in free agency. They're probably not going to be big names, but they will probably be additions to the team. Man Bear, good morning, brother Dan and Scooby-Doo crew. Exclamation point. Have a blessed and fantastic day. Same to you, my friend. 5 Fingers Freddy, good morning, Duke crew. Back at you. Quentin, greetings, salutations, y'all. Mac and trade for Cincy guy, for Hendrickson. Yeah, sign Mac and go get Trey Hendrickson. I'd be okay with that. Moonscar, Coach, I need to have some sort of delay so the game's going to push back from 5:30 start time. Hey, I'll do what I can for you, but yeah, it's probably going to start right at 5:30. John, morning. Dan, the man with a plan, and the world famous Duke crew. Woo! And same to you. Trim Reaper, what up, coach and crew? Woo! And hey, morning with you. It feels like it's been a minute since we've seen you, Trim. Silver Server, good thought, Jason. Health is key. It is indeed. So Smoke, good morning. Non-Lavers, good morning. Dan, the Duke crew. One Pride, back at you. Voltron Force, who is target number one this offseason? Man, I don't know. I would say if Kevin Zeitler does not resign with the team, then you're probably looking for a new guard ASAP. Marcus, should the Lions add Jamal Williams as a third back? That's a great question, man. I don't know. Let's see what you guys have to say. John, good luck, Dan, on the postseason. Hope you win it all. Hey, that would be something, wouldn't it? Johnny L, Detroit Lions. That's what we're talking about here. Phil, good morning. And same to you. Robert, woo. Daniel, good morning, Dan and crew. And with you, D. Muller, what do you got? Good morning, world famous Duke crew. Let's get it. Let's get it going in 100%. Lions for life, defense, defense, defense. That's what I think will be probably priority number one this offseason. Silver Server, no, Marcus Williams is old soup. Need freshness. Okay, let's go with some fresh soup. Central Scrutinizer, playoffs. Get your exclamation point. Get your game face on. Best of luck. Thank you very much. Michael, good morning, Dan. And with you, Big D, morning crew. Lions for life. What sport do you coach? Currently basketball, but I've coached football, I don't know, volleyball, soccer, tennis, and basketball. Muskar, who are we playing? Plainwell. So they're a good team. Hey, well coached. They got some good kids. Let's just hope we're one play better than them tonight. All right, Trina and Christina Conway, good morning, everyone. Have a safe and blessed Wednesday from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Go Lions. Hey, you got to love Kalamazoo. Silver Server, I get tired of listening to the coach and all he does. All right, nothing wrong with that. Getting tired, it happens, man. Lions for life, looking for a couple acres up north. Prefer a county with less codes for an off-grid cabin. Hey, get a hold of me, get my number, and give me a call. Silver Server Coach, if you want to skip an episode every now and then and sleep, we aren't going to be mad at you. You got our support. Hey, thanks for that. It's not my nature, man. As it was that my oldest sister Teresa would say, it's just part of our upbringing and stuff like that. She's gotten the same way. She's 70 now, and she still works like 80 hours a week and stuff like that. Just is what it is. It's built into us. How about this? David Holmes ain't doing stuff this offseason. All right, Broski, that is your opinion, and yes, that is Broski. Silver Surfer, right? Let's see, Silver, and I'm not complaining if they get 3 good pieces in the draft. Hey, me too, man. Hey, get all the good pieces we can. Or one funky TA will be fine. I'm more concerned about Rakestraw's future. We'll see what happens with him. Most cornerbacks don't come in the rookie year and do a ton. I mean, some do, but they're not the majority. Let's. We'll see how he progresses this year. Johnny, what do you got? Silver Server, dildo on that for sure, 100%. Lions for life. We have other rookies who have made more mistakes and are still in the team. Yes, they have, 100%. Silver Server, Rakestraw, only health issues, talent, and character are there. I'll go with that. Big D, I like Amik and more than Davis. Yeah, I'd like both. I hope we can keep Davis, but I don't know if it will happen. Moodscar, probably only one corner in the whole league you franchise tag, and Davis isn't him. Plus, we didn't draft him. This is also true. Silver Server, but Davis was a dog. Yeah, I like him for sure. I think most of us do. Lions for life, please don't pick up any more injured players because they're cheap. Most injured defense in NFL history should be an indicator. All right, I will go with that. John, in your opinion, Brad isn't going to make a big splash in free agency. If he does, it will be fantastic. I think a lot of us would be happy if he does do that. Rocky, cornerback is a tough position to learn, and most of the time you're on an island by yourself, and your errors stick out more, but the kid will be just fine. We saw the game start to slow down for Arnold. It did, yeah. I thought once he got about, halfway through the season. I mean, not that he was perfect, but you could see the progression there. All right, Mike the Marine Gunny, howdy, Dan, the Duke crew. Woo, back at you. Arnold, what up, Joe? Morning, coach, and Duke crew. Well, good morning to you too, Aaron. Hopefully you're off to a phenomenal start to your day. Big D, just my opinion, I agree. He was just a dog. I just like Amik overall more than Davis. Yeah, some people do, some people don't. That's okay either way. Johnny L, get some sleep, coach. You need it? Yeah, I'll try to get a quick hour nap in, man, but if I can get 20 minutes, that's probably going to be what it is. Ken, good morning, Duke crew. Woo, same to you. Brent Rakestraw looked like a wasted draft pick last season. Hope he can stay healthy this year and show some promise. I think he will, man. I'm thinking positive on him. Let's see, Dr. Troy, Brad is a drafter, not a GM so far. Okay. Server, I will be able to tell my nieces and nephews that I used to follow a show about the Detroit Lions conducted by a coach with a voice like Elvis Presley. And I don't know if anybody's ever confused my voice with Elvis's, but I'll go with that. Brent laughing. Coach Rocky and Ray Straw will be healthy, and our defensive backfield will be young. But with a good rush on the quarterback, they can learn to position much easier and get pass rusher to help the line. Woo! I will go with all the above. Josh, trade for Myles Garrett to Detroit by Monday afternoon, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to mark it on the calendar and hope you are right, my friend. Central Scrutinizer. I think Hooker may get traded and the Lions may pick a quarterback. Could happen. Could happen for sure. Chris Steele, what up, Duke Crew? What's up, man of Steel? Hopefully a great start to your day. Keith, good morning and greetings, salutations, Dan of the Duke Crew. And with you, Moonscar, no to Jamal. He's old now for a running back. All right. Johnny, what's really going on with Hooker? We'll have to wait and see. I have no idea. Ken, well, let me say this. I'm glad this Russ Brown guy isn't in charge of making our draft picks. His draft is trash. Yeah, I was not overly impressed with it. The receiver I liked, but that was honestly about it. Lions for Life, Williams, no. Brian, good morning, everyone. I think Williams talked crap about Detroit when he left. In my opinion, I'm out on him. Yeah, I think you're right on all of that. Detroit Lions bad guy, I think drafting a cornerback would help our depth. Could be. Daddy Gamer, no. Moonscar, Jamal Williams will be 30 April 30th. Thank you for that diligent research. John Doe, yes. So running backs can rest. I'll go with that. Lions for Life, why would we let Kevin go? That I don't think it's up to us. He's a free agent. So I hope we try to re-sign him. But can you get him re-signed? Let's see, Dr. Detroit, Devontae Adams runs down the sidelines and Goff doesn't throw down the sidelines. Why the heck would we get him? Who knows, man? Who knows? I'll leave that to wiser wisdom. Brian, I wouldn't mind Chris Godwin. Yeah, not a bad idea there. Phil, don't think, just do. Hey, I like the way you're thinking. Brian, I like Adams, but not for Detroit. Yeah, I don't think cost-wise plus production-wise it would be worth it. But, who knows, man? I'm not running the Lions. Lions for Life, what is a position is our number one need? I would think defensive end or defensive tackle. But that's me. That's what I would do. Hey, Donnie Bird, good to see you, man. We've had some wonders about where you've been. Bears are going to bear, not worried at all. Okay, I'll go with that. Good to see you back, my friend. Anthony, Isaiah Simmons, Calais Campbell, Jonathan Jones, well, could be persons of interest. Josh, Myles Garrett, and free agency. One pride, Jamal Williams is a no. He's an upgrade from Craig, but wasn't what he was in Detroit. Wish him well. Yeah, wish him well, 100%. Detroit Lions bad guy. What do Uber mean? No, you want Vildor out there instead of a better rookie. If we need a cornerback out there, that's not a starter. I want better cornerback depth. All right, we'll see if they target that. Pierce Dunbar, especially after they got Jonah Jackson, who will miss half the season per usual for $17 million a year. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Good money if you can get it if you're that contract. Kim Williams, no. He can go to the Bears? Maybe. Pierce, exactly, says Don. Kim, the draft class is deep on offensive line. I agree with that, and defensive tackle. I, for one, hope the Lions come away with at least two or of them, okay? Need to upgrade backup tackle and a center guard combo player like Glasgow, all right? Black J.R. Jones, over 200 people watching and on 100 likes. Hit that like button. Yeah, if you guys can, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons. One Funky, am I the only one who thinks we could bring back Evan Brown? That's a possibility for sure, especially for depth. Yeah, 100%. JK, big news. Can't wait. All right, I'll go with that. Pierce, Don Burr. So half the season, they upgraded the offensive line. Hey, you got to take half, right? When you can. Pierce, One Funky, Lions fan. No, I'm not with you. And on that, back is his old swing backups role. Okay, yeah, maybe a backup for sure. Moonscar, hey, Donnie. Brett, I like the idea of bringing back Evan Brown for a backup. Okay. Don Bird, Pierce, Jackson is Tevin Jenkins 2.0. The Lions bad guy, I was told Isaiah Simmons only wants to be a safety. He wants to be a starter, so I don't know what would work for the Lions, but I'd love to have him. Yeah, maybe if they put him in the iffy role so he can move Brian Branch to the nickel. That's the only thing I can think of in that scenario. Who knows, man? Thomas, as I said last year, home field advantage is nice, but not everything. No, I would agree with you there. In some sports, in the NFL, I'm sure it's a thing. It helps out. But at the end of the day, is it a win-all, be-all? Probably not. Dunbar, Moonscar, hello. Kim, Lazard was released yesterday. Jets getting rid of Roger Screw. Yeah, I did see that. They're moving on. Aaron Glenn wants nothing to do with him. Anthony Jones, we need a third safety. There you go. Moonscar, Bears fans are stunned. They traded for Jackson. He can't stay healthy. I know he struggles with that. Rocky, don't worry about being a too tired, coach. Your second win will kick in, and you'll be going strong like a little time after the season to rest up. Yeah, I'll have tons of time. I'm hoping in about a month once we won the state championship. But you know what? You got to get through one game at a time. That other team wants to win just as bad as your team. You got to be at least one play better, right? Pierce, Don Burke, correct? Pierce, Moonscar Blade, and don't forget they are eating his whole contract for Jackson. Man, good luck for them then. Land Dog, what do you got? Lion Dog, Hooker to Seattle for Metcalf on last year of his contract. Let's see if that goes down. Pierce, Moonscar Blade, hurts their cap. Yeah, I'm down with that. Don Burke, Bears fans shouldn't be stunned. Their GM, Ryan's poll stinks. Nate Davis, Claypool, Valus Jones, Swift, etc. The guy stinks at free agency and drafting. All right. Phil, never been able to find your games, coach. Yeah, you can find them on, I forget the name of the networks. You can find them on Huddle, and you can find them on the NFHSAA or whatever it's called. You can watch high school sports across the nation. Wilscar, they tried Jonah everywhere last year, guard, center, tackle. Then when their other offensive lineman got healthy, they benched him. They then wasn't even on the active roster at one point. Yeah, he had a struggle last year. Dale, morning all. Back at you, Dale. JK, good morning, Lions Talk Live. Same to you. Brian, do we know what cheap free agent quarterbacks are there for a trade Hooker? Also, have Jake from. We do have Jake from State from. Keith, they say go get your colon checked after 40. Take it from me. You will want to get it checked at any age. Advanced stage 4 cancer is a pain in the rear. Hey, quite literally. Duke Crew, Go Lions, Super Bowl bound. Thoughts and prayers for you, Keith. Hopefully you're doing well with it. Hopefully you're recovering. And yes, I know I'm 50, almost 53, and I've already had it checked twice just to be safe. Pierce, Brian Brady, maybe Flacco, maybe. Satin Show Scrutinizer. Hooker to Pittsburgh or Raiders, ? There are a half dozen teams in search for a good quarterback, and Hooker probably wants a chance to start. Yeah, that's not a bad thing either. Pierce, Central Scrutinizer, I've been saying for a while. Hooker will be a Jet. Okay, Thomas, for Garrett and second and Hooker. There you go. Mutzgar, sorry to hear that, Keith. Yeah, prayers. Yeah, 100% prayers for you. Phil, you never coached? Nah, I don't. Yeah, maybe when I was a younger coach, but at this point, here's what I'll say. In Coach Rock or anybody's coach can speak to it. This point, there's not much the coaches can do. We've given you all the stuff from practice. We've given you all the video breakdowns, the scouting reports. This point, it's about from a coaching standpoint, it's about substitutions, use of timeouts, stuff like that. There's going to be less effect we can have than what the players can have on the game. Kurt Steele, good luck tonight, Coach Stan. Thank you very much for that. JK, I would stir up crow gravy and cereal if Hooker is trade bait. All right. Rocky, what a great compliment. Ex-players coming on and praising you as a coach and friend. Gotta love it. Hey, I guess, man, you coach long enough, you eventually get something right. Kurt Steele, free agency loading fast. It is, my friend. One Funky. The fan base is funny. A good chunk of them say Hooker is trash and then say he had trade value. The two don't go together. No, they don't. But, hey, two people can look at the same painting and think one's worth something, one is worth nothing. So, and then there was a story, I want to say like 2 weeks ago, about somebody who went to what do you want to call it, an art auction, and some, world famous, sculptor made a sculpture that was invisible. So literally there's nothing there. And somebody paid $18,000 to acquire that sculpture. That's not there. It's abstract. It's nothing there. They even got a certificate of authenticity. So see this one I'm holding up here? I'll sell it to you only $5,000. All right, Pierce, JK, I still believe Hooker is for the Jets. Tanner and Glenn get something they know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, some familiarity there. Pierce, one Funky, Lions fan, I think we can get a lot from the Jets for him. Maybe. Miles Martin, Kurt Steele, really enjoy your Lions Nation Unite take on Ben Johnson. And yeah, 100%. I know Kurt does great work, man. Great work. JK, something Pierce, I'm not sure. Smiling, nervous Pierce? I don't know. Miles Martin, thanks. It was fun making it. Go enjoy it. Pierce, Kurt Steele, what up, though? Skip Ben Johnson. Okay. Kurt Steele, Ben Johnson is a chump. He's, man, is anybody's opinion on him changed? Have we, or has any former Lion or coach had their fan base turn their views on him faster than Ben Johnson? Pierce, Sergeant, what up, though? One funky Pierce. I don't think he goes anywhere. I think he's our cheap backup. Could be. JK, Ben Laden is a dead terrorist. Yeah, I would think that is correct. Lion Den Jets like Justin Fields over Hooker, possibly. Might be true. Maybe they go for them both. One Pride, you're playing my boys' school. Hey, there you go. Hey, hopefully he's there cheering for us, not them. Mr. Ed, good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Back at you. Paul, Broski can have Ben Johnson and his failed trick play that cost us in the playoffs. Williams doesn't have an IQ for it. All right, Paul, the trick plays so they won't work. Pierce, Paul, he only has IQ for nail polish. All right, Kurt Steele, I have to step away. See you guys in the Boss Up Ball podcast at 8 a.m. for our live chat. I'll go with that. Brett, Kurt Steele, your latest video was great. Totally agree with your take on Ben Johnson, laughing out loud. Oh, yeah. D-Bone Lokes, Lazard would be an awesome ad. I wonder if they go for him. That's a great call by you guys. Mr. Ed, with the Lions gratifyingly late in every round, let's see. How would you reach into the next round before you trade back for extra picks? I don't know, but I would leave that up to Brad Holmes just because I know he does like making draft day trades. Keith, thank you, Moonscar Blade, exclamation, and take care of yourself, Mr. Dan. Go Lions, Super Bowl bound. Hey, good thoughts and prayers to you, my friend. Michael Allen, last year when the Lions were at their most desperate for help on a defense that was getting riddled with injuries, and the Lions were willing to trade Branch, but said no. Then they asked for Hooker. Yeah. I know Hooker was mentioned at least one trade I know of, and that was with the Cleveland Browns. I don't know about Branch being traded. JK, okay. Lions were not willing to trade Branch, correct. But not Hooker. We're willing to trade Branch, but not Hooker. Think about it. I guess I don't know about the Branch trade ideas, but maybe it was there. JK, good point, Michael. Johnny Gas Sports, good morning, Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Have a great Wednesday. Bears move to take on all of Jonah's salary and cannot wait for him to be cut. Hey, we'll see. We'll see. Michael, every quarterback in this year's draft isn't good. Okay. Brent, Keith, prayers, 100%. 100%. DM5, Keith, eating all natural foods, no preserves, no chemicals can help, plus juicing vegetables. Okay, that's probably something Jen would have me do. Brian, I want to see Hooker traded to have a chance to play. You might get your wish. Lion for Life, do you think all over the NFL fans were right about Goff? I guess it depends, because there are a lot of fans that are, I guess you could say, Team Goff, and then there are a lot of fans that are anti-Goff. Whatever your thoughts are on it, here's what I'd say. He's the Lions quarterback for the foreseeable future. I don't see him leaving. You can love him or hate him, but here's what I'm going to say. He's your quarterback right now, so what I would say is I'm going to support him. I'm not going to root against him because that means I'm rooting against my own team. I have a very good friend named Tommy that since Goff's been here, he's been throwing stones left and right in Goff. And I keep pointing out to him, if you keep wanting Goff to fail, that means you want the Lions to fail. Because if your quarterback isn't performing well, your team's probably not performing well. So go with that. D River, what happened to the person pretending to be Micro Mike? I blocked him a few times. They keep coming back, but I can also say the one thing I can say with some people that have been on this show before, I mean, there's one guy in the block section on the dashboard for the channel. I think he's blocked like 20 some times because he keeps creating new accounts. Some people just don't go away. Verbal Kent, why would Zettler want to be a part of an O-line revamp in Chicago at his age? I guess it comes down to his perspective. Is the cash bag more important or the opportunity to win? That's something I can't answer. That comes down to the individual themselves. Celeste, I care less about Hooker. I want to see him leave so Garrett can come to the Lions. I'm down with that. Keith, thank you, Brent and DM5. JP, Keith, best to your recovery. I'll get checked. I just had my last one done August 2024. Yeah, I want to say mine was right about that time as well. Yeah, right about that time. Southwest, what the heck are you talking about? The Lions are not crackheads. Never thought of trading Branch. Yeah, I don't know about that, but maybe there's some story out there. Central Scrutinizer, Hooker is better than any quarterback in the draft, so his value is better. That could be true, 100%, especially if you don't believe in this year's rookie class. Ed, what if the NFL had no cap year every 5 years? You'd be going back to the 70s and 80s and before the early 90s, back when there was no cap. Rondo of North Carolina, no to Southwest or JW. Okay. Southwest, How stupid are some of you people? Goff is number 1 or 2 in every season until you can bring in Mahomes or Josh Allen. Shut up, get over it. Goff is our guy, period. Yeah, I mean, I get we all want a generational quarterback. The only problem is, how do you get that person? It's the time-old question that we seem to talk about here on the show. Some of you do want to move on from Goff, but who can you get that we clearly can say, yes, that person is clearly better than Goff? So, the Lions are in a position most of us haven't seen in our life. They're one of the best teams in the NFC, and you could argue one of the best teams in the NFL. I get some people say, hey, you know what? Goff can't run. All right, he can't run, but we are winning. So if you take Goff off the table, who are you bringing in that you can say and throw that person's name in the comments section? For those who want to move on from Goff, let me know right now in the comments section before we end the show. Who can we get that is clearly better? You can hope Hendon Hooker's better. I don't know if he is or isn't. I haven't seen him in an NFL game. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Are you willing to go back to, hey, missing the playoffs, having to redraft a quarterback, that guy busting? I can remember during the 90s and 2000s up until Stafford was drafted. Gosh, we probably went through like 12 different quarterbacks. This guy's the savior. That guy's the savior. No, this guy's the savior. And all the way, we're trying to just avoid having winless seasons. So I don't know, man. It's a tough one when you want to move on from somebody. You better make sure, especially at the quarterback position at the NFL, that person actually is better than who you got. All right, Trey, rise and shine, Duke Crew. Have a great day today, everybody, and go get Garrett. Hey, I'm down with that. Phil, you made the entire hour, Coach. That's great. Hey, I am ready for that Mountain Dew, and I don't think I'm going to hit the gym today. I'm going to try to get a little bit of a nap in before I have to work. Egon, with the offensive weapons we have, we don't need a generational quarterback to win a Super Bowl. 1 or 2 more additions to the defense, and we're straight. Probably true. 100%. Phil, Sam Darnold, question mark. He's much like Goff, but he's more mobile. He is, but, I guess, are you going to go get Darnold and say, to me, I get what you're saying, he's probably a little bit more mobile. He might even be a year or 2 younger. I don't know. But would he be cheaper than Goff at this point? Because I do think some team is going to sign Darnold. I don't know if he's going to get $50 million a year, but I don't think there'd be much of a difference. I don't know. It's a good thought there, though, Phil. Trey, if you don't get to the bowl this year with Goff, you need to start looking at his replacement. I'll say that. Yeah, right. That might be true. Mausbar, Goff equals 15-2 North champs, number 1 seed. This is also true. He has taken 2 different teams to the NFC Championship. I know that's a thing out there. DM5, John Kitna was worse than Goff. Yeah, if revisionist history here, the one quarterback that I wish they would have just stuck with, and I know Steve Marinucci got into it with Matt Millen about it, is Lions drafted this kid, I want to say in the 5th or 6th round, Mike McMahon, I'm pretty sure was his name, super athletic, cannon. I mean, rocket cannon for an arm. Had to learn to play at the NFL level, but when he got in, he made some plays. And I want to say it was the end of Mooch's first season in Detroit. I don't even remember who the starting quarterback was, but he benched him, went with Mike McMahon. The next year, Mooch got into it with Matt Millen about Mooch wanted to stick with McMahon, and Millen wanted to go with Joey Harrington. And from there, I mean, they just kind of went their separate ways. They never really got back on the same page. But I don't know. That really has nothing to do with anything. Chuck E. Cheese, if you move on from Goff, you're not going to get nothing better. Please stop 5 every year. Okay. Lions for life. Why not give Hooker some more playtime? Well, that's, I guess, the coaching call. The coaches feel he's better than Goff. If the coaches aren't putting out there, I'm guessing, just my opinion, doesn't have to be your opinion. My guess is that tells me that the coaches don't believe he is an upgrade over Goff. Southwest, good luck with the game, Coach. I hope the boys are hitting every shot on the rim, as big as the ocean tonight. I hope so, too. Harrisville, Sam Darnold is half the quarterback Goff is, in your opinion? Okay, Josh Jackson, I don't recall Branch ever being a part of any serious trade scenarios. I'm sure Brad will hear every offer out, but actually contemplating that, I just don't, quote, think it happened. No, I don't see the Lions moving off him, but, for the right price, maybe. Keith Goff is the man, exclamation point. He has given us the best seasons ever, 12-5 and 15-2. Could be true. Ed Goff will shock the NFL this year with his mobility. It could be. I know he's worked on it last year and then this year. Chuck James, why the heck would you go get Darnold? I don't know. Michael Allen, the trade for both Smith and Garrett and Branch was in that trade. But the Browns countered with Hooker, and the Lions said no. Okay. Brett Goff would have won the Super Bowl if not for 2 drop passes. That would have totally changed people's outlook on him, I think. No, I do think people forget about that during that Super Bowl. Now, to be fair, they did drop 2 potential touchdown catches that would have obviously won the game for the Rams. But there was also, I want to say, 2 times where Goff had somebody wide open for a touchdown, and he missed them. So he kind of him and all of it. But yeah, if one of those or 2 of those are caught, yeah, people's opinion on Jared Goff has probably changed. I remember, man, we're good with Goff. Okay, yep, I'm down with that. Josh Jackson, and it didn't happen for a reason. Sure, that's what the Browns would have wanted. Okay, Johnson, not us. Michael, the Lions fans are never satisfied with the current quarterback. It's been like that for my whole life. Yeah, I think it's probably true on most teams, unless you have a Montana, a Warren Moon, someone like that. What's his name in Kansas City? I can't even think right now. Patrick Mahomes, or Josh Allen, something like that. If you don't have one of those guys, you probably are looking always to the next one. DM5, because we've never had one. All right, fair enough. All right, guys, if there is some sort of breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. Hey, thanks for all for joining in today. If you would be so kind, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit all the buttons. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. Be a good human being, and we'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Excuse me, sir, would you... Donations to Reverend Moon? Juice for Jesus?
Read about Jehovah's Witness? How about Buddhism?
Help Jerry's kids? Oh, yeah. Scientology?
Or nuclear power?